Coming to you live from the fabulous MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a St. Clair College journalism presentation.
Hi, I'm Richard Riosa, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. Our top story tonight: the City of Windsor has put a freeze on property taxes for its 6th straight year. As a result, property owners will pay the same amount in taxes as they did in 2013. Mayor Eddie Francis said the city will also be increasing investments on city improvements. With the holidays quickly approaching, some local shoppers got a head start on their Christmas list. Rick Dawes reports.
It's the second official Black Friday at Devonshire Mall, and Windsorites are taking advantage of reduced merchandise prices, same as their American neighbors enjoy, but retailers say, minus the public disorder. Devonshire Mall administrators say shoppers living on this side of the border are warming up to the idea of cutting merchandise prices for one day.
Last year was our first year that I would say, yes, it was amazing. A lot of the head offices really understood the impact of Black Friday and in keeping with the American tone.
For some perspective, a busy weekend at Devonshire sees between 10 and 11,000 shoppers. Black Friday last year, a single day saw 20,000 people. Of course, it's bigger in the U.S. Over $59 billion were spent last year on Black Friday, with crowds swarming store entrances and camping out on sidewalks. Windsorites love a deal too, but ask if they want the same experience.
I said, no sir, you couldn't pay me enough to shop on Black Friday. I don't like crowds and the frantic chaos of the place, and this is just fine the way it is right now.
Indeed, year after year tells of fights, tramplings, and even deaths in U.S. stores, all over marked-down goods.
I feel kind of sorry for them to be that frantic for something. It means they're desperate for it, or they wouldn't be going to all that trouble to get it.
But Neforos says there was no indication of problems like that last year during Devonshire's first Black Friday. She described it as controlled chaos.
It's a different kind of a fun, and I think for us, the sales are out there, the great deals are out there, the contests are here, the giveaways are here, Santa's here, so you know it's all part and parcel of how we will run our Black Friday.
Retailers would be happy to have that great boost in sales on Friday, but anyway, they're not going to see me. So that's that.
Blackbeard, Black Friday. After all the shopping's done, all that's left is to enjoy the holidays. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Rick Dawes.
For an early look at the weather, let's go out to Alice. How's it looking out there?
Well, I'm still praying for snow, Richard. Did you know that the first time weather reports were published in a newspaper was in 1692 in England? Right now we're looking at a high of 2 degrees and it's cloudy out here. Back to you in that warm studio, Richard.
Thanks, Alice. In this edition of 5 Minutes With, Alice Hewitt spoke with the publisher of BizX magazine, Deborah Jones.
Hi, I'm Alice Hewitt, and today we're spending 5 minutes with Deborah Jones, publisher at BizX magazine. Deborah, BizX is the area's only international border city publication. Can you expand on just what the magazine encompasses and what your role is?
Well, I'm actually the publisher and president. That means I do everything from collecting the mail to writing the stories to selling a few ads as well. Mm-hmm. And we actually encompass a whole lot of business, a little bit of entertainment, sports, covering local businesses, area events. We're distributed in Windsor and Detroit, so we try to do things on a little bit on both sides of the border because the Windsor and Detroit region are so close. We believe obviously in supporting this area and helping it grow and making it the best place to live, work, and have a little fun in.
So BizX is hosting a big event in January called the Land and Sea Fest. What can you tell me about that?
Yes, we have started the Land and Sea Fest, which will be January 18th at St. Clair, to help start off and kick off our new BizX Magazine Scholarship Initiative. Mm-hmm. BASIC is designed to put one Windsor Essex High School student through the full journalism program at St. Clair because we believe that the students are our future, and obviously we would like to help them become better writers and become better educated. There's a lot of reliance on spell check and with all the computer technologies and things too, we're finding that there's a few little grammar errors that are occurring. So We believe obviously in St. Clair College's journalism program and feel that it's one of the best, and we would like to help support one student going through on full scholarship. So we decided to use a portion of the proceeds to fund this initiative, and it will all going to begin at our Land and Sea Fest on January 18th, which is also at St. Clair College. So we're also helping to put some of the culinary students to work as well.
So how can students get involved in this initiative?
Well, hopefully everybody could buy a ticket. That would be great if they could do that. The tickets are $90 and they're available at chryslertheater.com. And obviously can help support it, spread the word, let everybody know that this is the first event of its kind that's happening. It's a all-you-can-eat land and sea buffet, 30 items. Executive chef from St. Clair, Steve Meehan, is heading it up. He's put together a very delicious menu of everything from succulent roast pig, crab cakes, lobster with garlic butter, clam chowder, and something from the salad too for all the vegetarians out there as well. So a little bit of something for everybody to munch on, try St. Clair College's food, and help support the students.
Will there be more events like this one coming up in the near future?
We hope so. This is our first one that we've done on this caliber. We do have every month our monthly biz mixers. They take place at different local establishments, and they're designed to get business people networking together, meeting each other, hopefully conducting a little business. A lot of fun stuff happens there. $10 to get in, and we have one coming up now on December the 10th at Ambassador Golf Club. And a little Christmas party, a little socializing, and helping, everybody meet each other.
Okay. So where can people gain more information or purchase tickets again?
For the Land and Sea Fest, the tickets are at chryslertheater.com. If you need any information about any of our events and the magazine itself, you can go to bizxmagazine.com, or you can join our Facebook fan page under, of course, BizX Magazine.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Alice Hewitt, and we've just spent 5 minutes with Deborah Jones, publisher at BizX Magazine.
A photographer from New York is using her skills to raise awareness for sexual assaults one photo at a time, with help from victims all over the world. Haley Treelout reports on a way victims are finding their voice. Viewer discretion is advised, as some of these images are graphic.
Her name is Grace Brown, and her mission has affected people around the world. About 1,400 sexual assaults are estimated to take place in Canada every day, 70% committed by someone the victim knows. 2 years ago, Brown was approached by a friend who disclosed she was a victim of sexual assault.
It wasn't the first story that I had heard, and it wasn't the worst story I'd heard, but something about the story really got to me. I wanted a way to say, look at what's happening, look at what's going on in the world.
The following morning, Project Unbreakable was born, eventually getting media attention and its first documentary by Nino Gallego Films. Through this concept, Brown has helped make those who were once victims become survivors.
Sexual assault is almost sort of taboo. Reality is that most often the perpetrator is someone that the survivor knows. And just the way our society views sexual assault and the shame and the hiding it under the rug, it perpetuates everything else.
The day after hearing her friend's story, Brown was moved to action. She began photographing survivors of sexual assault while they held a poster with a quote from their attacker. Their expressions say it all. Brown has taken about 450 photos of survivors. She has also received 3,000 submissions from people all over the world.
They all have a story to tell in terms of what were those lasting words or comments that stayed in their mind as a result of their victimization. And so it gives them an opportunity to put voice to it, to decrease the impact that fear of those words have on them, or the impact of those words. So many victims have some lasting statement. The fact that they're sharing it with other victims as well gives them a sense of, I'm not the only one.
Less than half of all sexual assaults are reported to authorities, a number Brown wants to improve. She wants them to know they are not alone.
That they are supported and believed and understood. That they are unbreakable.
Grace Brown will be touring colleges next spring to help raise awareness for sexual assault. For more information on Project Unbreakable, visit www.projectunbreakable.com. Reporting for MediaPlex this week, I'm Haley Trelow.
Downtown Windsor has been a place for the 19 and over crowd, but that's about to change. There's a new hangout for people of all ages. Kyle Simpkins sheds a little light on the newest place to have a little back and forth with friends.
Downtown Windsor is known for its nightlife, with a plethora of bars and restaurants, nightclubs, pubs, fine dining, fast food, and of course the casino. Downtown Windsor now has something a little different.
This is BV's House of Pong. It's basically a place to go downtown, something different. It's a ping pong parlor, ping pong social club.
Owner Brian Vinson has big plans for his new business involving a little ball.
Well, my goal is to have tournaments every week, and to have a league, seasonal leagues going on. I also want to make it a place where people under the age of 19 can come after school, things like that, and then have it become more of an adult-themed thing to do at nighttime.
Vincent says the idea is not exactly his.
I stole it from Susan Sarandon, actually. She has a chain of them from all over the place. She's got one in Toronto, that's where I saw the first one. She's got one in Toronto, New York, LA, Dubai. So they're starting to pop up around the world.
The Pong House is also hoping to promote local talent.
Also, I want to let any local artists know that we have lots of great wall space here for local art. So we provide lots of space for people to hang their art for sale for free and no commission, of course.
They may eventually host music nights with local bands as well. The Pong House is already catching on. Believe it or not, there are some big local ping pong enthusiasts.
Absolutely love it. This is my first time here. Me and my friend were always looking for somewhere to play ping pong.
I think it's a fantastic place, to be honest. I mean, there's nothing like this in Windsor. It's an awesome experience.
It's not just the dining table and the gaming table in downtown anymore. The ping pong table may now have a place in the heart of Windsor's social life. For MediaPlex News, I'm Kyle Simpkins.
Toronto police are in mourning after losing one of their own. 34-year-old constable John Zivsich was responding to an emergency call over the weekend when his unmarked cruiser was involved in a collision. Zivsich remained in critical condition at St. Michael's Hospital before succumbing to his injuries Monday afternoon. We here at the Mediaplex wish to send our condolences to the Toronto Police Service and Constable Zivsich's loved ones. The Filipino Community Center was packed for their fundraiser for Typhoon Haiyan. Darren Breckles reports on the abundant amount of support Windsor has shown.
For many members of the Filipino community, the fundraising effort for Typhoon Haiyan is personal.
We're just very thankful that my mother is safe. However, our house was totally destroyed. Yeah, so my mother is still there right now, living in a roofless house. So every time it rains, and everything inside the house, including them, are also wet. So sometimes they sleep wet.
Organizers are thankful for the tremendous response to their fundraising efforts. The Filipino Community Center was packed with a huge turnout for a fundraising dinner last Friday. More than 1,000 people bought tickets, double what was expected. With raffles and a bake sale, the event brought in more than $15,000 to help typhoon victims. But the cleanup effort is just beginning, and it will take many months before life gets back to normal for many victims of Haiyan in the Philippines.
They said it's getting better now, the relief. I think it's starting to go there now because I think the runway and stuff are starting to get fixed so they can actually land and stuff, and the ports too. With the resources that probably Philippines doesn't have as good as Canada's resources, even the planning for military and stuff like that is not as much. So it's a slow process. I can understand because I grew up there.
To keep the fundraising effort going, local musicians Christian Rona and Julian June have organized a benefit concert featuring members of the Windsor Symphony Orchestra as well as local media personalities.
We're kind of putting it all together into one nice little presentable package, and again leveraging our talents to leverage donations for this. It really is this tragedy, and trying to help do our part with what we do. And we play music, and so we're going to put on a concert.
The concert is scheduled for next Wednesday here at the Capitol Theatre. Tickets are $20 and you can get them at Devonshire Mall or by visiting www.fcciwindsor.org. For MediaPlex This Week, I'm Darren Breckles.
Now for a look at weather. Alice, I hope you're keeping dry out there tonight.
Doing my best, Richard. Tomorrow we're looking at rain all day with a high of 11 degrees and a low of 5. Thursday that rain will cease to exist to make way for cloudy weather with a high of 8 and a low of 1. Friday that all changes to a high of -1 and a low of -4 with some partly cloudy skies. Want to give the gift of love this Christmas? Registered charity Jam Canada are holding their annual Red Bull campaign. For the low price of $65 a year, you can feed an African child. For more information or to make a donation, call 519-967-9600. My family are donating this year, and I hope that I've encouraged you to donate too. I'm Alice Hewitt, reporting from the corner of University and Victoria, right here at the MediaPlex. Back to you, Richard.
Thanks, Alice. In this week's Health Minute, I went into the cellar to give you some new reasons to drink a glass of wine this holiday season. Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Richard Riosa, and today I'd like to talk to you about the health benefits of red wine. With Christmas fast approaching, red wine is a good way to relieve some of the stress of dealing with your family, and it's good for you. Studies have shown red wine contains 3 extremely beneficial chemicals. Flavonoids found in red wine help enhance the effects of vitamin C, reduce inflammation, and the high antioxidant levels can even help protect cells from cancer. Melatonin is also found in red wine. This hormone, which is found naturally in humans in small amounts, can help manage the effects of PMS in women, prevent diabetes, and has been proven to slow the aging process. Finally, resveratrol is produced naturally by grape skins during the fermentation process. High doses of this chemical have been shown to mimic the effects that a 20 to 30% reduction in calories in the typical diet would have. Now, although there are many positive health benefits to drinking red wine this holiday season, remember that it is an alcoholic beverage and to treat it as such and always drink responsibly. For the MediaPlex Health Minute, I'm Richard Riosa. For your health. Mandy Matthews speaks with registered massage therapist Laura Ryan in this edition of 5 Minutes With.
I'm Mandy Matthews, and today we are spending 5 minutes with Laura Ryan, registered massage therapist and founder of Pursuit Massage Therapy and Recovery Center. Laura, you spent 2 years relentlessly researching everything you need to know to open this business. Tell me how you got it all started.
Well, it all started, as you said, I'm a registered massage therapist, and I have been for 14 years. I love what I do, but it all started, my husband is a triathlete in the city and has been for about 20 years now. And about 2 years ago, through intense training and competition, his body just wasn't recovering the way he had liked or the way it was when he was younger. So after seeing his frustration and his inability to train or his inability to compete in the races that he had planned, I started to do some research, and I started to look into equipment that would help him recover from his training and give him the ability to compete better.
During your 14 years as a massage therapist, you went through a little bit of a down period. How did you come back from that?
Well, I mean, I think as everyone, especially when you love what you do, you go into work every day and you look forward to seeing the people that you see, and you're hoping that you're giving them 100% of your talents and ability, particularly for massage therapy, wanting to help to reduce their pain and discomfort. Throughout my 14-year career, I always worked in chiropractic offices, and for some reason, in the middle of a treatment, I decided that I wanted more. I wanted to continue to do massage therapy, but I wanted to challenge myself now differently, and to bring in other aspects into my practice that I didn't have the opportunity to do when you're working for other people.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you offer is new technology, and specifically new technology to Windsor. Can you explain a bit about each product that you offer and why it's so important to the body's recovery?
Sure. So some of the equipment that we have, like you said, is unique to the city, but it's also unique to amateur athletes. A lot of what I have at one time was only available to professional athletes until I brought it into the recovery center. So one of the things I have is called Normatec compression system. So it's sleeves that you put on your legs, and they're hooked up to a compressor, similar to a blood pressure cuff on your arm, but it's on your entire leg. And what it's doing is it's flushing out lactic acid, toxins, stagnant fluid that gets settled in your muscles, and it gets brought into the lymphatic system and eventually taken out of the body. So what it does is it flushes out the bad after training and competition, and then fresh blood and oxygen gets back into the muscles and joints and nerves and that sort to help the healing process. Another thing we have is cold laser. Now, cold laser was already in certain parts of the city, but what cold laser does is it helps to reduce pain, reduce inflammation, breaks down scar tissue, penetrates about 4 centimeters deep into the tissue so that we're actually able to heal at a much deeper level. One other piece of equipment that I have is called a cycle sauna. Cycle sauna is used by particularly hockey players. It's used and endorsed by Chris Chelios of the Detroit Red Wings. It's also used by Simon Whitfield, who is one of our top Canadian triathletes. And what cycle sauna does, it's an infrared sauna, so it's a heat source, so it's great for muscle and joint pain, increases circulation, increases your metabolism. There's also a calorie burn aspect to it, so just sitting in the sauna for half an hour you can burn up to 500 calories. But the difference is that there's a bike inside, so even if you pedal at a moderate rate, all of those benefits are just increased that much more. We have a thermal massage bed, so it's a mechanical bed that you lay on. It has ceramic rollers that are heated with infrared heat. So the rollers roll up and down the body from the base of the skull, past the spine, into the lower back, and then into the top of the hamstring. So as the rollers move up and down the body, you get heat therapy, massage, and acupressure therapy all at the same time, and it's just very relaxing. So those are just a few of the things that we have at the office that we've been able to bring into the community, and we've already seen such phenomenal results for people.
And what would you recommend to someone who is not athletic, that's just feeling pain somewhere?
Well, what we recommend to everybody is the sooner you can get in, the better. With 14 years experience, a lot of the people that I see for the first time are at their absolute worst. They've waited too long to come in, they're experiencing a lot of pain, and therefore for me, it's a lot of work to help to assist in the healing process of whatever it is that's bothering them, but also it's very uncomfortable for the client to have that work done. So we always encourage people that when the body is telling you that something isn't right, you need to have it looked at. So of course, the nice thing about the Recovery Center, it works on a walk-in basis. Myself or my other massage therapists are always there to talk to and discuss a treatment plan and to get them started on the right path to health.
Thank you so much, Laura.
You're welcome.
I'm Mandy Matthews with Laura Ryan for this edition of 5 Minutes With.
When you pick up your next Tim Hortons coffee, you can smile knowing that you're having the same experience as thousands of other Canadians right now. With a growing market share, statistics say Tim Hortons sells 8 of every 10 coffees sold in Canada. So it seems you're supporting a brand that is becoming more and more our national cultural icon. Lubna Fawaz reports on the relationship between Tims and Canada.
When actress Kobe Smulders, who plays Robin in the American sitcom How I Met Your Mother, called Tim Hortons the most Canadian place in the universe, it was meant to be a comedy line.
Oh, it's just like home.
But for the disappointment of few commentators complaining about Canada being a Timbit nation, numbers doesn't lie. 8 of every 10 cups of coffee sold in Canada are Tim Hortons. Yep, it's a huge share of the market. And it was confirmed recently by the third quarter profit results, with Tim Hortons reporting an 8% rise in its quarterly profit. But what is making Tim Hortons so popular in Canada, leaving almost no much space for other competitors? And do Canadians really associate themselves with the coffee brand?
I've been going there like all my life. The food there is amazing. The drinks are great. Donuts are awesome. Really love the bagels, and it's just pure Canadian taste.
It's available. It's convenient. It's not too pricey.
I do think it's part of Canadian culture.
because when you do go other places, you don't get Tim Hortons, and it's just some mornings you just want your Tims.
Sorry, USA, but Tim Hortons is Canadian.
It's been over 49 years since former NHL player Tim Horton opened the first store in Hamilton, Ontario, with only coffee and donuts on the menu. It was accessible, and it branded itself as the choice of the average Canadian, focusing on ubiquity and pricing.
In the past at least 10 to 15 years, that they've really developed within their marketing strategy and capitalized upon the fact that people have a really strong affective association back to Tim Hortons, back to their brand. And marketing-wise, they position themselves very strongly as being a very Canadian brand.
As no one can claim that one brand can represent all of Canada, whether it was a sports team, a bottle of maple syrup, or simply a cup of coffee, indeed, the idea of Tim Hortons being a national icon has been rejected by many, who argue that Canada deserves to be represented by much more than a cup of coffee or a box of Timbits.
Disregard people's comment that they wish it wasn't so, when in fact it really is so. People have strong brand associations, in their history. It continues to be a very popular brand in Canada, and it's interesting that I teach so many students that come to us from around the world, and very quickly they're very curious about Tim Hortons and feel that's a very part of Canadian experience.
Just a few weeks ago, Tim Hortons revealed a dark roast coffee blend in some pilot locations. A first since its opening in 1964 that it would offer customers a new choice. It is another smart strategy. After creating childhood memories with nearly 80% of Canadians, they are looking to engage the younger consumers in the Tim Hortons ritual.
Welcome to Canada.
What is all this?
You'll see. Welcome home.
Author Pierre Berton, a Canadian icon himself, wrote once about Tim's. It's a story of success and tragedy, of big dreams and small towns, of hard work and of hockey. In so many ways, the story of Tim Hortons is the essential Canadian story. For MediaPlex News, I'm Lubna Fawaz.
Visit the MediaPlex online at themediaplex.com. Follow us on Twitter at @the_MediaPlex and find us on Facebook at the MediaPlex Canada page. Thanks for tuning in. You've been watching MediaPlex News Now. I'm Richard Riosa.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.